2 of beginning rock guitar, and this is I called it Little Rock and Roller, and it's basically Chuck Berry style of rhythm guitar, rock and roll rhythm guitar. And if you're not familiar with Chuck Berry, some of you young people may not be. You should get to know Chuck Berry. He was quite, besides being a pioneer of rock and roll, he was quite a genius in songwriting. A great songwriter with a variety of songs. He wrote I'd say about 29, 30 songs. I think 29, I'm not sure. But the chords here should be familiar. You know, we've done songs like Day Tripper, where you're kind of going like. And these are root fifth chords, and we also did Jumpin' Jack Flash. We were doing 3-note root fifth chords in this second book. In the first book, we just did 2 notes. Like that. Now, these are similar, but instead of, now we're at the 7th fret in the key of B, and instead of using 1st, 3rd, and 4th fingers, we're going to stretch out our 2nd finger and use 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then the 4th finger alternates, and that should be familiar too, because we did that with open string patterns and what I call the 2-2-4-2 pattern, where your first finger is hitting 2-2-4-2. Sorry, 2-2-4-2, and it's. Remember, we were accenting the 4th fret, like 2-2-4-2, 2-2-4-2. And you're doing the same thing here, except everything's got to be barred. So it's a stretched out chord, and then the pinky is stretched out. So you're stretching out, like 1, 2, 3, 4 frets, really 5 total frets. And what I would do is I would get into that chord. Now, when you put your pinky down, you're probably not going to hear that 4th string. I have it written into the tab, but don't stress over that. If you've got huge fingers, you could probably bend your pinky enough to get all the notes ringing. And if you want to work toward that goal, that's commendable, but I don't really worry about it too much. And when I went through it in the beginning of this lesson, there were some sloppy things, going from one chord to another. But you want to kind of work on drilling. But when you get the basic pattern down, and this is kind of up in the high frets where the fingers are a little crowded, and then when you go to this chord, you want to make sure the tip of your first finger is muting the 6th string, right? So always mute, and you want to mute the other strings that you don't want to hear. Not that you're purposely trying to hit all 6 strings. Just don't worry about it. You're just banging on it. And then when you go up to the 5 chord, what we call the 5 chord, we've got a 1 chord, a 4 chord, and then later on a 5 chord. The frets are really close together there, but that helps with the stretch. But again, when I play that pinky, I'm not too worried about you could try to get them all ringing, but I wouldn't worry about it, because you'll have enough to worry about changing the chords, and especially when you have to jump. I'm sorry. From the 1 chord to the 5 chord, back to the 1. So the names of these chords, this is a B chord, and then when you go up to the 4 chord, that's an E chord, and this would be an F sharp chord. And the chord names are on the tablature, and so it's pretty straightforward, but what I would suggest is to work on the end of one measure of one chord into the next downbeat of the next chord. So if you did looked at the second line of tablature and the last half of the first measure to the first chord of the second measure, that E. So you're going from B to E, and just you want to be able to target really quickly, and then you could try the E back to the B. And just remember, when you're doing the E chord, you have to mute the 6th string. Okay? And then that's the toughest chord change, I think, from B to F sharp. See? So, kind of muffed it there. So, anyway, and then F sharp, back to B. Drill those chord changes. And I'm really feeling it in my hand here. It is kind of a hand killer, this one. So, but this would be very similar to if you've heard the Chuck Berry song Johnny Be Good. A lot of, most of us have heard Johnny Be Good in one form or another. Jimi Hendrix did it. Johnny Winter, the Texas Blues master, he did it. And even Grateful Dead, I think, did Johnny Be Good, but so down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, back up in the woods among the evergreens, stood a log cabin made of earth and wood. There lived a country boy named Johnny Be Good. He never ever learned to read or write so well, but he could play the guitar just like a ringing bell. I'm running out of breath. Ringing a bell. Go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. So that's this chord progression, what I call the little rock and roller, really is Johnny Be Good. And but there were many rock and roll songs that followed that same chord change. So just have fun with it, and don't stress out of it. If you can't do this easily, just do what you can and just try to gradually get into it. We have to challenge ourselves, right? So, Mother told him someday he would be a man, and you would be a leader of a big old band. People coming from miles around, hear you play your guitar when the sun goes down. Maybe someday your name will be in lights, saying Johnny Be Good tonight. Go, go, go. So we have plenty of time later on to add those other licks. But enjoy this. If you like it, like the video, and subscribe, and also like my Facebook page, John Hedger Guitar Studio. Thank you so much.